Well, before we go into Unit 2 of the lesson Muslim League, let us take a quick recap of what we have done in Unit 1. We have learned how the Britishers were responsible in order to rise the growth of communalism in India, the factors that led to the formation of the Muslim League. Under that, we saw the loss of sovereignty, the policy of divide and rule, the justification of partition of Bengal, relative backwardness in education, trade, industry, and economic backwardness of the Muslims, erroneous interpretation of Indian history, role played by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Now we shall see the aims and objectives of the Muslim League. The objectives of the Muslim League were laid as follows. The first one, to promote among the Muslims of India support for the British government and to remove any misconceptions regarding the intentions of the government in relation to the Indian Muslims. Now, which government are we talking about? The British government. The second, to protect and advance the political rights and interests of the Muslims and to represent their needs and aspirations to the government in a mild and moderate language. That means a policy of appeasement was followed. The third, to prevent the rise of feeling of hostility between the Muslims of India and other communities. The period during the First World War, 1914 to 1919, was the intense nationalist political activity. The events during the war and the prevalent sentiments were responsible for the signing of Lucknow Pact between the Congress and the Muslim League. Children, do you remember the Surat split that we learnt in the last unit in the year 1907? The differences between the two sections had surfaced due to ideological differences and the second one over the issue of presidentship. Assertives were finally expelled for 9 long years and they remained out of Congress. And now, after 9 long years, it was a real luck for them when they signed the Lucknow Pact in the year 1916. So what is this particular Lucknow Pact, which was signed in the year 1906? We will learn its significance. What are the significance of the Lucknow Pact? So when did the split take place in Surat? 1907. So when was the Lucknow Pact signed? In the year 1916. So it was 9 long years the assertives were out of Congress. So what are the significance of Lucknow Pact? It brought about a lot of changes. Hindu-Muslim. The first one is Hindu-Muslim unity. The joint scheme symbolized Hindu-Muslim unity. Both the communities agreed to compromise in some areas for the common good. So the Congress compromised on its secular character by accepting the scheme of separate elections for the Muslim. The Muslim League accepted the principles of election and majority rule. As a result of this pact, the Hindus and the Muslims worked together from 1916 to 1922. The second, it brought about a unity between the early nationalists and the later nationalists, or it brought about a unity between the moderates and the assertives, that is, in Congress. The Lucknow session and the signing of Lucknow Pact brought the unity between assertive nationalists and the early nationalists. After the Surat split of 1907, both the factions of the Congress were moving in different directions, but now they come together. As a result, the Congress was strengthened. The next one, the pressure on British government. The unity between Congress and the League and between the early nationalist and the assertive became a threat to the British government of India. The government now had no excuses for delaying political or constitutional reforms. The next, it became a necessity to pacify Indians. As the First World War continued, the leaders of the Congress and the League impressed upon the British government that their demands for constitutional reforms should not be rejected if they wished Indians to be loyal to them because the First World War was going on. The British government, therefore, felt it was necessary to pacify the Indians, and thereby they declared August 20th, 1917 as a declaration and promised them a policy of gradual development of self-government institution in India. So this was a real luck to the Indians while signing the Lucknow Pact of 1916. Well, students, we have completed Chapter 5 of the Muslim League. Here's an assignment for you all. I'll read the questions. The first one, explain any three factors that led to the formation of the Muslim League. Out of the three, the role of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan is compulsory. Second question, state the objectives of the Muslim League. Third, what was the significance of the Lucknow Pact of 1916? Well, I'm sure you'll do this assignment and keep the notes ready for correction. As soon as the lockdown is lifted, we are going to check the notes. Thank you.